Will Ethereum lead the next wave of altcoin rallies? Let's talk about this because I called this move not once, but twice, and we're seeing a breakout in Ethereum's price action, 21% towards the upside, essentially repeating its move from a few months back. We're going to be talking about how this is leading the altcoin market cap rally, how it's influencing the crypto money flow cycle, and how it's positioning altcoins for a new wave up in its new Q1 Altcoin Hype Cycle. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like this video if you enjoy content like this going forward, and let's dive right into it. So back in December, late December, just after Christmas, a late Christmas present was that altcoin Ethereum was pulling back and positioning itself for an approximately 20% move across the entire range. So essentially from range low to range high, it did that, narrowly missing its range high resistance. But essentially, when it revisited the range low just a month later, it was positioning itself for a repeat of that move, and now we're seeing a breakout rally, 21% towards the upside, essentially reproducing that rally once again from range low to range high. And the fact that we saw a strong rejection last month and now a great follow through is just showing that maybe this range high resistance is weakening in its rejection strength. But more about that later on, because what this rally indeed means is that we are seeing Ethereum carry the altcoin market cap. And the fact that Ethereum is carrying the altcoin market cap because it's one of the largest cryptos in the space, it's also going to see additional altcoins rally and carry the altcoin market cap once again, because the altcoin market cap has seen a series of historic retests, first starting with this green circled retest that has always enabled the yellow circled retest in the past. And you can just see how history is repeating once again this second yellow circled retest after this green one. So 1, 2, these are two historic retests, and this successful retest took shape of a bullish pennant, which is now breaking out towards the upside, and breakouts from the yellow circled retests in the past have seen altcoin market cap revisit these blue highs at around 250 billion and enabling successful retests in the blue circled retests of 250 billion. That's where we're going with the altcoin market cap. So maybe Ethereum's rally isn't yet over as a result, just looking at the altcoin market cap, but also looking at last month's rejection, which has been essentially recovered in full and even a bit extra. So this is very positive, not only for Ethereum, but the broader altcoin market cap and altcoin space as well, because the historic retest around this blue circle here has also preceded fantastic upside towards the $425 billion level as well over time. But of course, this is going to be a retest over here. It will take some time. We're not quite there yet. So a few more weeks of upside and then maybe a few weeks of pulling back. Maybe this ties in with the Bitcoin halving event as well when we see a Bitcoin pre-halving retrace. But in any case, altcoin market cap is on its way to revisiting the $250 billion level. And with Bitcoin's current rally towards the upside, we're already seeing this money flow trickle into Ethereum. Ethereum is breaking out quite substantially, and of course it is a large cap. It's one of the largest plays in the space, one of the largest cryptos in the space. So we're seeing money flow into Ethereum, and with Ethereum still rallying, not yet consolidating or pulling back or dipping, this still means that a lot of the money flow is concentrated, of course, predominantly in Bitcoin's price action, because the rally, the pre-halving rally, is still underway. We're still seeing upside with Bitcoin rallying beyond $52,000 right now, but we're already seeing some trickling into Ethereum, and this is going to continue. So if you think about large caps, first of all, being Ethereum, when Ethereum consolidates and maybe dips a bit and moves sideways, we're going to start seeing money trickle into still larger caps, but smaller large caps And we're going to see this money flow cycle all the way through those smaller and smaller large caps until we get to the mid cap altcoins, and then the smaller mid cap altcoins, and then into the low caps. And then we're going to see this entire money flow take place with profits being circulated first from Bitcoin into Ethereum and large caps, and then into mid caps. So essentially we're going down the risk curve. We're going from Bitcoin, which is a low risk, high profit play relatively, into a higher risk and of course higher reward play, and then even higher risk and higher reward, and then even the highest risk and the highest prospect of reward in low caps. So this money flow cycle is essentially showcasing to us how people tend to profit circulate in the market, but also they take on more risk so as to position themselves for more reward. So this is a money flow cycle, but also a cycle of psychology where you're seeing higher profit potential and higher appetite for risk, and also greed growing and fear of missing out growing as we progress down this money flow cycle. So the fact that we're still in the very beginnings of a large cap money flow, predominantly focused still on Bitcoin, we're going to see that money trickle down later on in this quarter, because we are just beginning the Q1 Altcoin Hype Cycle, still very much in the very beginning stages of this Altcoin Hype Cycle. Bitcoin has broken out, Ethereum has broken out, but a lot of the altcoins that have seen corrective periods since the end of 2023 and early 2024, we're just bottoming out and trying to base some foundations and develop some supports, and even some altcoins are already rallying a little bit. And there is a period of lowest hype towards these altcoins, a bit of maximum pessimism towards them. Lots of corrections have occurred, but still people aren't quite realizing the profit potential that these altcoins could experience over the coming weeks as we approach the halving, which is quite interestingly aligned with the end of the Q1 hype cycle, where we reached the pinnacle of highest hype, and at the same time peak FOMO, peak greed, peak euphoria towards these altcoin projects. And this is also the time where we see a lot of the catalysts from the fundamental side come to fruition, where projects launch their mainnets, they announce their news, they launch their protocols, or whatever the case may be. All these catalysts on the fundamental side come to fruition at the end of this quarter, and by this time, a lot of those catalysts and technical predicaments, whether those are falling wedges or falling channels breaking out, all of these technical and fundamental catalysts come to fruition. We see price already be priced in. These catalysts from the fundamental side are priced in, and then with people buying the rumor in anticipation of profit potential and breaking out towards the upside in these rallies, because they're anticipating a mainnet to produce a fantastic technical uptrend for price. People are buying in anticipation of that hype that will move markets, but then they will be selling that hype around the end of the month, and also at the same time around when the Bitcoin halving is going to occur. And this is typically when we see Bitcoin also pull back, because a lot of the same traders are trading the Bitcoin halving in the same way, trying to buy in anticipation of the hype before it's finally priced in the short term. We see a corrective period after the end of the quarter, and then we repeat the same cycle later on, closer to the summer, but not without first experiencing a corrective period across the market. And that's going to be very healthy for the market in general. But first of all, still lots to look forward to. An entire altcoin wave of rallies, an entire altcoin hype cycle lies ahead. We're still in the very beginnings of it, to the point where market participants are actually doubting whether or not this is actually a true model. And historically, this is a model worth really paying attention to, especially in bull markets, because we tend to see altcoins really sensitive to fundamental catalysts, which are always peppered around the end of the quarter. This just happens to be the case. And so as a result, these fundamental catalysts are going to really impact the price action of altcoins a few to several weeks before these fundamental catalysts are launched. And as a result, during these periods, we also tend to see technical price predicaments become quite interesting. We see loads of falling wedges. We see macro downtrends break in the price action of altcoins. So two sides of the same coin. The technical side of these market structures, but also the fundamental side of these fundamental catalysts, which always occupy the end of a quarter. In any case, that's about it for today's video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Like this video if you enjoy content on altcoins like this going forward. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.